Hello and welcome to a new lesson, Difference between Advanced and Applied Linguistics. In this lesson, I will talk about what is Advanced Linguistics, what is Applied Linguistics, and the difference between Advanced and Applied Linguistics. Let's discuss the topic. Lecture 49. What is Advanced Linguistics? Advanced Linguistics, it moves beyond the basic structural description of language to explore the cognitive, social, theoretical, and computational mechanisms that make human communication possible. Briefly, what we come to understand about advanced linguistics is that it does not talk about the basic structure of language. It goes beyond that and talks about the cognitive aspect of language, social influence of language, theoretical background of language, computational mechanisms that contribute to the shaping of language. Why? Because all these three elements like cognitive, social, theoretical, and computational, they help human communication more effective and more communicative. That is the point here. We move on to the next. Key areas of advanced linguistics. We have cognitive model of language, socio-linguistic model of language, and theoretical and computational model of language. Let's discuss each one of them in detail. The first one is cognitive model of language. What is this? Advanced linguistics is deeply concerned with the mental representation of language. How language is mentally conceived, mentally grasped, mentally understood. Because language is something that happens in the mind, that does not originate outside of the domain of our understanding, comprehension, mind. We move on to the next point. Advanced study seeks to uncover the mechanism of universal grammar. When we say the mechanism of universal grammar, it means that the science of grammar that helps us understand language universally. Whatever the language, the mechanism of grammar is universally applied to every language. Every language has parts of a speech. Every language has noun, pronoun, and so on. Every language follows certain structures, certain patterns, certain rules. It has subjects, it has verbs, it has objects, predicate, and so on. So what we mean to say is that advanced study of linguistics helps you understand the science behind universal grammar in understanding the language, in comprehending the language. We move on to the next. That is, researchers in this field delve into psycholinguistics to understand the cognitive mechanisms behind real-time language production and comprehension. So advanced stage of studying linguistics helps you delve into the area of psycholinguistics, which further assists individuals, researchers, students to understand the cognitive mechanism. What cognitive influence applies in producing, in speaking a language or in comprehending a language. That is the point here. We move on to the next. That is point number 2, socio-linguistic model of language. Advanced linguistics recognizes that language is a socially embedded system. Language happens in mind, but it is influenced by the society in which we live. Without society, language cannot exist. So it is socially embedded, socially interlinked, socially connected. Without society, simply language cannot exist. We move on to the next. Sociolinguistics studies how language varies according to social factors. Various social factors greatly influence in the way we use the language. Your profession, your social status, your age, and so on. They all have their own influence upon language. We continue with the same idea. It tries to identify how language attitudes influence social interaction. So, how your linguistic skill, linguistic behavior affects the way you socially behave, you socially interact, you socially communicate. And this makes all the difference because a person is also known by the way he speaks. We move on to the next, that is point number 3, theoretical and computational model of language. Advanced linguistics is increasingly computational. Computational linguistics uses computer algorithms to model linguistic structures. So, in the subject matter of advanced linguistics, we try to model linguistic structures into the way computer recognizes it to communicate through technologies or various forms of technologies. It enables technologies like machine translation and natural language processing. So in modern time, we have artificial intelligence, we have machine learning, we have natural language processing. How our language, what we call natural language, is processed through computational linguistics into various forms to help us communicate digitally, to help us, to assist us in artificial intelligence in our day-to-day activities of life. So, what here it means is that advanced linguistics is an area where theoretical background of language is being implemented into computational methods to let technology help you do the work which earlier humans have been doing. And this is also one of the emerging subject matters of advanced linguistics. Now we move on to the next stage of our discussion, point of our discussion, that is, what is applied linguistics? Definition of applied linguistics. Applied linguistics uses what we know about number A, language, number B, how it is learned, how language is learned, and how it is used in order to achieve some purpose or solve some problem in the real world. So briefly, applied linguistics helps us how to use language, how to learn language, how to apply language to solve the real life problems. The name itself suggests that applied linguistics, that is application of language in our real life situations, in the field of engineering, in the field of medicine, in the field of computer science. What do? We try to apply language. That is where applied linguistics comes to our help, to understand the use of language, learning of language in different disciplines, different branches, in what way it is used and how it is used, and how it helps us to master medical terminology of language, engineering terminology of language, literary terminology of language, and so on. That is basically the fundamental idea of applied linguistics. We move on to the next. Broad areas of applied linguistics. We have so many broad areas, but here I have selected some of them. The first one is language and learner characteristics, language and technology. Third one is language cognition and brain research, language and culture, language planning and policy, second language acquisition, sociolinguistics, text analysis, written discourse, translation and interpretation, and bilingualism. These are the broad areas of applied linguistics. You can imagine how applied linguistics, its scope is very vast and is one of the most emerging branches of studies. We move on to the next, that is difference between advanced linguistics and applied linguistics. Advanced linguistics, it studies how language works as a system, whereas applied linguistics, it focuses on how language is used or applied in different fields of knowledge. Point number 2, it talks about theories of language, whereas applied linguistics, it uses those theories to solve real-world problems. Point number 3, advanced linguistics, it discovers universal principles that govern all languages in the world, whereas applied linguistics, it is inherently interdisciplinary, often borrowing from psychology, sociology, and education. We continue. Advanced linguistics, it tries to understand the cognitive architecture of the mental grammar in our brains, whereas applied linguistics, it helps us improve communication and learn languages more effectively. And the last point is the rules of language in advanced linguistics is abstract, not concrete, whereas the rules of language in applied linguistics there is a mistake, missing later, is social and practical. Hope you understand the concept. Thank you and goodbye.